Hi, welcome. This is Derrik Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, I'm delighted to have two of my best friends, Derrik Shapiro and Barry Hyman, with me. We met in 1973 at Bennington College, and we started playing together. And yes, do the math, 44 years we've been playing together. Long time. We played together in a group, a trio that does spontaneous world fusion music called Natural History. Now, we have very different backgrounds in music. Jared grew up studying classical cello. Barry was doing a lot of country rock, folk rock and stuff. I was a pop singer, songwriter. But we all met at Bennington, and what we share in common is a mentor, a master drummer, Milford Graves, who opened us up to world music and just an more open concept of rhythm and music, and we just kind of took it from there. Then, of course, there's a lot more to our stories in our musical journey, but the thing that sets us apart from a lot of other groups is that Natural History performs without any preconceived material. We make it up on the spot. So I want to send my welcome right now to my good friends Derrik Shapiro and Barry Hyman. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Derrik.
All right. So, I'm so excited to have you guys here so we can play together. We're going to be playing later on the show and have some music throughout. Tell me something. What is music?
Oh, gee. What is music? I'll
take that ball. Brains evolved to control movement. And so movement has to be, by definition, the most therapeutic thing. And dance and music are subsets of movement. And they're movements specifically tuned to get people moving together. And that's, I think, the important thing. When people get on the same wavelength, that's the medicine. That is why we do it. That's the best thing that humans can do. Music is a natural excretion of the human animal, that it is unhealthy to keep it inside. So it is the exhalation of life.
Yes.
Your
nice.
turn.
I like that. You got something to add to that?
I think about music in terms of functionality a lot. Mothers sing lullabies to children. Music represents the ineffable. When someone dies, after you've said all you can say, you play music.
Us old guys play a lot of funerals nowadays.
More and more, yeah. Hey, so we do a lot of things musically. We play many instruments. It's part of because we're excited about different sounds, want to bring different sounds out. But also, Barry has a special gift with spoken word. And you blew me away when I first heard this. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I'd love to go to this clip we have of this tune that we did together called Plastic Rap.
Time for the plastic rap here on Talking Blues about the news. Time for the plastic rap. Plastic rap. Living in a plastic world, aren't you tired of that? Plastic is an experiment. We are the guinea pig. We're led to believe it's inert. Which means, the plastic stays in the plastic bag, right? Oh yeah. The plastic stays in the plastic bottle. No problem. But you can smell it. Come on. Plastic water bottles been sitting in the hot sun. Come on, you can smell it, right? You can taste it. Doesn't taste like spring water from a mountain stream anymore now, does it? There's molecules coming off. Molecules. Where do you think they go? In outer space? No, honey. They're going in you. Boil your food while it's still wrapped in a plastic bag. But surely that's been tested by the government. Surely the government checks out for you and me. Yeah, baby. It is currently being tested by the government on you and me. Talking blues about the new.
Oh yeah, I love that. Boy, that's so cool. And Barry actually has a record, King Happy, In My Country, that is a whole collection of these fantastic spoken word raps, and I did.
I don't do it anymore though. It's, the fun has gone out of it.
The fun has gone out.
The world has darkened since those jovial days of our youth.
I guess. So I wanted to ask you guys something. You know, we do spontaneous world fusion music, like we just make it up out of nowhere, right? So how do you know when what you're doing is any good? Like what you make up in that moment?
Well, maybe you don't know in the moment. I think part of it is, and I think part of the experience that we've had working together for so many years is that we like each other, and so that you have a certain amount of faith in not some people not being overly critical. So I think for a lot of times criticism is deferred.
Yeah, and it's not about, it's not a competition, it's about participation. We are playing music together. We are modeling the joy. How good is it? I don't know, it feels good to me, you know. Are you having fun? You know, that's really the only criteria. There's no right or wrong, there are no rules.
That's right, yeah.
Well, except we don't want anybody to get hurt.
No one gets hurt, that's our rule.
I wonder how you do the things you do, Derek. You have so many talents. I wonder how you can pick up your instruments and play them flawlessly without warming up or tuning. I mean, you just have a magical ability. Whatever you touch, whenever you sing, it's always right. I've never really heard you make a mistake.
You have to listen a little closer.
But what I often wonder, what do you think when you're doing this? What goes through your mind when we're improvising?
Well, I think I try not to think. I think thinking is an impediment to being open and hearing. I really try to listen. And actually, my method, if there is a Derek method, is basically, if I hear it, I play it.
Yeah,
if I don't hear it, I don't play.
Well, that's what I feel, that the muse is whispering in my ear. And if I can maybe get to that note in real time, but it's kind of fun when you don't, and then how do you roll with that? Where do you know, what do you do when that wasn't the note you wanted? How do you?
Well, you play it 2 more times, and then it's not a mistake.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that I actually pre-hear things, but I will say that maybe I feel it, and so mine is more groping in the dark.
Yes.
I kind of try to be in the present. I try to listen to you guys, and listen to my contribution to the sound, and let it kind of go where it's going to go.
And that's for me too. It's not that I always hear a melody, but it's more I hear feeling, emotion, a vibe, a quality, and then that's what I sort of go towards.
Well, in terms of the neuroscience, it's very interesting because I'm in the present playing my instrument. I'm in the past in that I'm thinking about what we just played to affect what I'm doing now and to build on it. And then I'm in the future thinking about what I'm going to play next. And how the brain and the finger muscles do all that is the marvel to me.
It's a big mystery. And like you say about the muse, I mean, I've reached a point in my life where I don't argue with the muse anymore.
That's a good one. I don't argue with the muse.
The muse says, do this, I go, thank you, I'll do it.
You're talking blues about the news, Eric.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's it all about, guys? What's the meaning of life?
Well, you've said it's intentionality,
Well,
right?
it can be. It's that sometimes
Living life with. Go ahead. You go first.
Well, dance is intentional movement, and music is intentional sound, and it's not the meaning of life, it's more the purpose of life, is for us to do something together. You know, we embrace, we make love, we eat together, we drink together, we laugh together. People like to walk together, march together, drum together,
Disagree
dance
together.
What you say?
Disagree together.
Dissipate together. It's what else is left when you're on your deathbed and you're looking back, except that we were on the same wavelength for a minute. Everybody in the room had a drum or a whistle. Everybody was making eye contact and feeling love. That's all we live for. There's nothing better. I've tried it all. There's nothing better.
I know you have.
You know, I was reflecting a little bit on. I knew Derrik was going to ask goofy questions. I wasn't sure they were going to be this goofy, but but I was thinking about the natural history phenomenon and what we have shared, and a lot of what feeds our performance energy, I believe, is music that we've made for each other, for ourselves over the years, frequently when we haven't had instruments. And I think about pounding on your old Toyota Land Cruiser.
Oh yeah.
And
with wrenches and ball-peen hammers.
and other kind of spontaneous expressions of exuberance and joy and sadness. And all of those experiences, I think, feed into what we do presently.
Yeah.
Yeah, drumming on hollow logs and the metal sculptures in the park that we used to do back 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. long time. We've been doing this for quite a long time. That's and I think so much of what we do as our friendship is what is kind of at the core of what we do as well, which is a powerful thing, for us. One thing I have thought is that, to me, the meaning of life is to create meaning in life, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
And that can be a pretty open thing, and can change from moment to moment. But
So why don't we talk about the music that we're going to perform before we perform it? Why the need to be so?
Well, I asked you that once, and you said because it limits us. If I ask what scale are we going to play in, then you say, well, then we're stuck in that scale. Whereas if we don't talk about it, I mean, I'm just parroting your answer.
It's interesting.
But also, there are fewer choices. Once somebody starts something, we're stuck with that. That if we talked about what we could do, we could be talking all day before we played a note, because there's so many things we could do.
That's right. But in terms of creativity, it's good, I think, to have some kind of structure or some kind of self-imposed limitation sometime as a way, at least, of starting the process, limiting your choices. Sometimes having too many options is paralyzing.
Well, Milford Graves said something to me once about how do you know when it's good? Or I was asking him, I guess, how do you know when it's right, when the medicinal music is the proper harmony, rhythm for this situation? And he said, well, when you eat some food, how do you know when it tastes good? You know.
Feels good, it is good.
You can feel it.
Yep.
So that's the meaning of life in a way, is to just get that savor, that essence.
Appreciation.
That intentional joy.
And a few times during our 44 years of playing together, we've actually had an audience. How does that experience change the creative process?
Well, of course, because we'll watch the audience, we'll see how they respond.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And if they're paying attention, then it's so much more pleasant, or participating, even better, dancing, singing along.
That's right.
Moving. I did a gig the other night where somebody brought some people to listen to us, and we played good, because somebody was, sitting there, actually, attending.
Yes.
It was delightful.
Intention once again, right?
Yeah, well, when you get it back, it creates a positive feedback loop.
There's no question there's magic in music, and I think that one of the things that we've been able to do wonderfully is tap into that magic.
I give you the gift of magic.
Hey, thank you very much, Jared Shapiro and Barry Hyman, for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. It's fantastic to have you. We're going to wrap this up now and go to another piece of music to, go out. This is Derrik Jordan. Once again, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the World Fusion Show. Remember, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.